Hey there, you're watching Amitha Verma. The other day, one of my dearest friends, Shalina, came over and was sitting in this very chair and turned to me and asked me, I love how this area of your home feels. How did you know which patterns to mix together? So today I wanted to walk you through this process because I know if you're like me, you're probably a pattern lover, but don't know how much to use, where to use it, and how to select the right ones. So this is how I mix patterns as a maximalist. When Heavy and I were first married, we bought our first home, a starter home together. And this was the first time that I furnished a home all at once. And I will admit, I was very afraid to take a risk, so I played it very neutral and very safe. Now, when we moved into the house that we live in now, I had the confidence to try and mix it up a little. So I created a formula to take this very complicated process and try and simplify it to make it easy for me and help me get the outcome that I wanted, that included a beautiful collection of pattern throughout my home. Now, let's get into the formula that I follow. The first thing I do is decide on my colorway. Usually when I'm doing that, I take cues from my home or maybe the furniture that I already have. Now, if you don't have a colorway and you're working with a blank slate and you don't have any idea where to start, my favorite way to figure out how to get started is to start with your floor rug first. Usually you're gonna find one that you absolutely love or don't love, and that will help narrow down your selections. I knew in my own home, the hues that I was seeing over and over again were these blues, these grays, these really pretty greens, and of course, the brightness from the light coming in. So that's where I started and started selecting fabrics. It started from the white to the cream to grays to blues, and then some complementary colors like green and a little bit of violet. Now, the next step in the formula is I want you to start thinking about fabrics into big categories. Forget about the color for right now because you never know what you're gonna find when you go start looking. But I want you to pay attention to these 4 categories because this is what I do and what I pull from whenever I go look for some new fabrics. Number 1 is gonna be a solid pattern. This could be a linen, a velvet, a linen-like texture, but something that looks like a solid. Number 2, I love looking for an all-over pattern. This is where you can bring in those toiles or those beautiful scrolls or patterns that are basically all over the fabric. Number 3, I love looking for something geometric. This could be a stripe or a Greek key detail. And then number 4, I also like looking for a small print, something that brings the design and the detail in a little bit closer than a larger all over pattern. The third step in the process is to figure out where you're going to put these different fabrics. If you're afraid to jump in head first, one of the best tips I can give you is to use your solid pattern or your solid fabric on your largest piece of furniture. So here you can see how I used this cream colored fabric on this settee. The reason why I chose this solid color for this piece is because I loved all of the beautiful details that you see and this gorgeous gold or gilt finish. And I didn't want to take away from it with a pattern in this particular case. I also wanted to have one large surface area covered in a solid so I could bring in some more pattern in this room. Next, I love using my all over patterns on individual armchairs and side chairs. They're the perfect place to jump in head first and avoid making a big mistake. The chair itself looks beautiful when you combine it with another chair of a solid or pattern fabric. And of course, you can always move this around to that perfect spot where that pattern looks beautiful in your home. Now here you can see where I pulled from the cream tones and decided to use an all-over pattern on this individual armchair. It has a lot of beautiful hydrangeas, birds, small floral details, butterflies. There's a lot, and that's why I love using these kinds of patterns on individual pieces. So it's not too much, it doesn't overwhelm the room, and then this piece can feel very special and a little bit more maximalist. Now here you can see on this chair, I used this opportunity to bring that blue that I wanted into this part of my home. I wanted to tie back into the floral color in the all over pattern and highlight a little bit more blue to match the tones in my home. So I was able to use one of my favorite fabrics, a toile inspired all over pattern on this chair to bring in some of those motifs and designs that I love. I do love using a little bit of a small print on my benches, my ottomans, footstools, and even my pillows. The reason why I love using the small print is because it provides a lot of contrast to a solid colored sofa or even an all over larger scale pattern. The fabric here on this ottoman repeats that cream color over again, but what's different about this is I used a small print. So it helps not only this piece feel special, but all of the pieces around it. And that's exactly what maximalism is all about. It's expressing your style and curating a group of things that you love and putting them together in a beautiful way. I actually follow this exact process throughout my entire home. So if you want to see more of this and learn some of these techniques or see how it's turned out in my home, leave a comment and let me know. I want to create the content that best helps you and serves you. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up so that lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. Then when you're done, hit the subscribe or the follow button and then ring the bell so you don't miss another one of our inspiring episodes. After that, I want you to head over to my blog where you can sign up to receive your free design newsletter and soak in endless hours of beautiful design tips. Till the next time we meet, keep using your amazing gifts to create heart in your home. Rohan, leave a comment and let me know. If you liked this week's episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Then be sure to hit, my hair's in my face. Okay, sorry. It has a lot of beautiful hydrangeas, birds, small floral plants. I said it again, floral plants.